just report the information you're giving. Don't try and get any inside information. No, that's really not what we're about in this business. Of course,
I understand.
You go for inside information. That's what it is about.
You and I will diverge on this point because I do understand some of his points about the nature of the British press, but I'm not sure where he thinks he's come from. Because I've lived in America and some of the most divisive press is in America. So I don't know why he has to pigeonhole it to be English press because it's just as bad in America.
And if it's not true that pressure had been building around him, Simon, don't react in that way.
But he is rattled, and I don't think he has the chops to do the job. I think Leeds, as I said the other day, are one manager and probably a change of ownership away from really kicking on again. And I think that change of ownership will happen at the end of the season if they stay in the Premier League, possibly.
Yeah.
And I think that he is only in situ because they've got American influence in that boardroom. As a result of the American investment. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have been in the conversation. I think he's okay. I don't think he's a great manager. I think that in every dressing room, in every football club, there'll be people that are against him. So for him to turn around and say, oh, no, everyone's for me is a load of old rubbish, because it's not possible, because there's players in that dressing room that won't be being played, that won't be part of his plans, that will necessarily be against him. So the need to go back and to push back. I mean, he did this speech, didn't he? And I thought it was quite good the other day. It was any given Sunday speech about getting fed up with losing. You know, I'm tired of losing. I find it something I really dislike. Okay, fine. Well, then stop losing then.
It's a bit over the top, isn't it?
I think the press are an obstacle and an opportunity, because the opportunity is that they're there to be able to utilise them if you're winning, and they'll be shining a light on you. And if you're losing and your team isn't doing the way it should be, you've got to be able to handle the press. Yeah, and I think going full out like that shows more about him than it does about the things he's complaining about. It's the territory. Yes. You're a football manager. You're a Premier League football manager in the most spotlighted league in world football. You're paid commensurate to that. Grow up, push your chest out, and get your team winning, and the conversation will reduce, won't it?
If you were Andrea Radrizzani this morning at the top of the house at Leeds United, would you be telling him that?
Nah, I'd leave him alone. Let him get on with it. You know, ultimately, you know, if he wanted my advice, if he came to me and said, what do you think about my outburst? I'd say, ill advice. You don't need to do that. What's that about? Yeah. You're giving more grist to their elbow. Why would you let them know that it affects you? Why would you let them know you're fazed? But if you know the truth, you know the truth. Don't worry about those that don't. Get the team winning, get yourself focused on what you've got amongst your group, and don't worry about the background noise. And the media background noise, they report what you do. They report what's going to be, what happens. They don't influence outcomes. They report outcomes.
Because that's the nature of it. Leeds fans, what do you think? The latest outburst from Jesse Marsch. Are you with him on that? They're unified, and that he speaks out against the media suggesting anything other than that. You happy with Jesse in charge? 03717 223344 810 89.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.